What's going on, people? What's going on? IOBA, my name is TC, and this is the Awareness Channel. So, my sister asked me to speak about Kamala Harris some more and what I think of her. Here's what I think. Kamala Harris is an opportunist. And I ain't mad at her for taking advantage of the opportunity that was presented to her by her boyfriend. I ain't mad at her for that. And she's a professional side piece. Okay, that's what I think of Kamala Harris. Now, back in the day when Kamala Harris was coming up out in California, she used to get with these high-powered men. She used to get with these high-powered men, like the mayor, and be their little arm candy. And she was arm candy. She was cute. She was light-skinned. She wasn't white. She wasn't black, but she wasn't white either. And motherfuckers like to take her out. You know what I'm saying? You need somebody cute to take to the goddamn charity dinner. You call up Kamala. Yo, you want to go out? Blah, 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 blah. She put on a pretty dress, get her hair and shit done. And you got yourself a date for the evening to look good on your arm. Back in the day, there's all kinds of levels of that. You know what I mean? Every once in a while, back in the day, I used to have to go to a dinner or a function. And they'll say, bring somebody. And I would call up one of my friends, one of my girlfriends, who I knew was going to look good and who I knew could carry themselves and converse in this type of company, and I'd bring her with me. I did that more than once. And Kamala was that type of woman. And eventually that evolved into her being a straight up side piece, But look at here, man. It's something to be said for being a professional side piece. It really is. I mean, after all, what is a side piece? A side piece is somebody who fills a void in your life. And that void, that space could be anything. It could be companionship, could be conversation, could be friendship, could be sex. It could be a monetary stopgap. It could be a whole bunch of things, But every once in a while, you got to throw your side piece a bone, a gift. That gift could be money, favors. It could be protection. It could be a job. It could be a gig. It could be a whole number of things. And that's what you do, in gratitude for them being your friend, being your side piece. Now, so I ain't mad at Kamala for that. Matter of fact, she took side pieceology, I just made that word up, side pieceology, to a whole new level. She took it to a whole new level. And what good is being a side piece if the person you side piecing for can't do anything for you? Then you just a hoe. Right? Because the whole world is give and take, isn't it? It's, goddamn it, not what you know, it's who you know. In more cases than not, it's not what you know, it's who you know. Now, I know some of these white boys want to call her a DEI hire, but I don't think there's anything wrong with being a DEI hire, because, coming out at that level, everybody's got education, right? She happened to have a law degree. You think she would have got where she is without a law degree? You think Willie Brown would have been able to do anything for her back in the day if she didn't have a law degree? Well, she does. And she happened to have been cute. And she happened to be his side piece. So I got the side piece here, young lawyer. You know what I'm saying? I need a favor. He calls in a favor. And they do what they got to do, and so that's how you exchange. You know, that's how you exchange. But yeah, Kamala Harris is good at it, and it's landed her all the way up until the vice presidency of the United States. You dig me? You can't get no better than that. Now, should she become president, well, hell, that further proves the point. You could side piece your way all the way into the White House. But at the bottom of it all, she's still a lawyer. She was still a prosecutor. She was still a senator. She was all these things on her resume. So what if she got a leg up from somebody she was seeing? It is what it is. Now, her record after having gotten there, well, that's something else we could talk about. I mean, y'all saw that debate back in 2020 when that woman talked about Kamala and all the bad things that she had done while she was Attorney General out there in California. She did some messed up shit, and most of it to black people. And we already know that Kamala already said she wasn't going to do anything that was going to only benefit black people. I don't know if she still means that. I haven't seen any walk back or any clarification of that statement. I ain't seen any of that since she been, front runner in the Democratic primary. I ain't seen any of that, any walking back or any taking any clarification, none of that. Maybe there's an interview somewhere where she, addressed that, but I haven't seen it. But our black people, our issues are police reform, reparations for Jim Crow and slavery, into qualified immunity for police officers, and we want a hate crime bill, a George Floyd hate crime bill, a police accountability task force or something, And as far as defunding the police, yeah, the police get way too much motherfucking money, I think. The only budget that never gets cut is the police budget and the military budget, because those are the military arms of white supremacy. I mean, let's just call it what it is. And so those two things have to be well funded, because people have to be kept afraid that somebody gonna come get them, that the big black boogeyman gonna come get them. But I'm digressing from that and get back on Kamala. Yeah, Kamala Harris took side piecing and professionalized it. And it got her where she is today, because no other way, because she couldn't get there on just, straight up politics. She couldn't get there on straight up politics. So since she been the number one pick for the Democrats, I watched a couple of speeches. She can give a fiery ass speech when she want to. And I said earlier that she's going to be cackling at the White House. I think they're going to put a kibosh on that. She's going to stop all that giggling and laughing, because shit ain't funny out here. And somebody, maybe a chief of staff or somebody, told her the one rub they got against you is that crazy ass laugh you be doing, like you get nervous and you start, chuckling and giggling and cackling a little bit. And we ain't doing that no more. Somebody told her that. And so hopefully, it's like when she was doing that shit, it's like she didn't take herself all that serious. You know what I'm saying? She didn't take herself serious enough. And so somebody got in there and look, if you want to be taken seriously, you got to take yourself seriously. So all of that stuff that you say and you start laughing like it's a joke, don't do that anymore. Somebody asks you about marijuana, explain it. Yeah, I smoked marijuana when I was in college, but I realize now that it's against federal law and I don't do it anymore, and I'm going to enforce federal law until that law gets changed. Say something like that. But don't giggle and say, ooh, half my family is Jamaican. That's bullshit. For one thing, that's implying that everybody in Jamaica smoke weed and they don't. So anyway, she just became a more serious person now that she out on the presidential landscape trying to win. And I'm gonna tell you something. You got two individuals up there, Trump and Harris, Kamala Harris, who I don't really care for. But I can't think of a presidential candidate that I've cared for since 2008. And then I didn't know enough about Barack Obama to not care for him. So yeah, since 2008. And once 2008 and was 3 months in, and I really found out who we had elected, I fucking sobered up quick. I still voted for him again in 2012, but look who he was running against. So we got two candidates now who I really don't like, I really don't care for, and I really don't have no use for, but I'd rather see Kamala Harris in the seat of power than Donald Trump. And it's as simple as that. So how she got there at this point is water under the bridge. She there is water under the bridge. And what she does with it, with this new power, if she gets it, should she get it, is what we have to all watch. As far as voting for her, like I said, man, I'm going to go ahead, along with a lot of other people I know, and hold my nose and keep Donald Trump out the White House. So it ain't about putting her in. It's about keeping the other motherfucker out. And that's a shame, you know what I'm saying? You shouldn't have to vote against somebody. You should be voting for somebody. Neither one of them gives us anything to vote for. But one of them gives us something to vote against. Say that again. Neither one of these candidates gives black people anything to vote for. But what one of them does is he gives us something to vote against. He really does. Because if you don't believe Project 2025 is a real thing, just look at what the Patriot Act did. Now, a lot of people don't remember the Patriot Act that came in right behind Obama. Or did it come in under Bush? I think it came in under Bush. But Obama didn't roll none of that shit back. He just didn't. All that shit's still in place. The surveillance state is still in place. That was brought in under the Patriot Act after 9/11. So when they talk about Project 2025, if Donald Trump gets in office and then gets, the next election come around, the next president ain't going to undo much of that shit because they're going to like being able to control every fucking body. So if you don't believe that things like Project 2025 are dangerous to your freedoms, just look back at the Patriot Act and all of the shit you got to go through now that you didn't have to go through before 9/11. Or they write these fucking laws and these manifests and all of this goddamn agendas up way ahead of time, and then they wait around for a politician to come along that they can implement the shit with. And that's what we got now. So don't sleep on Project 2025. So that's what you should be voting against, as opposed to voting for Kamala Harris. All right? Kamala Harris is just like any other president. She going to get in there. She going to do what she told. She going to ride the wave, and then she going to get out. All right? So side piece or no side piece, this is the one we got to put in place right now. This is what we need right now. You got to think on a bigger scale. right? You got to think on a bigger fucking scale. You just do. So, kudos to all you side pieces out there. If you really want to know how it should be done, watch Kamala Harris. And she'll give you a step-by-step, instructions on how to be a successful side piece. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And I'll catch y'all in the next one. TC, and I'm out. Peace.